Hi, this is Rachelle with Live in Vibrancy, and I'm continuing a few videos that I'm doing on identity. So the fastest way to create a new reality is to go in at the identity level, because identity is made up of all the other categories: the beliefs, the actions, the thoughts, the feelings. And so identity can be described as self-concept. It's also your state of being. And so last week I did a live in my group about the mindset shift you need to manifest a specific person. And so, spoiler alert, basically I said you need to make a decision about yourself that the other person is interested in you. So because most people are not coming from that place, and quite honestly, how can you manifest love from another person if you don't believe they love you? And so you don't manifest the love. You manifest because you know you have it, right? You've made that decision about yourself. And so recently, though, I had a conversation with someone that highlighted the need to unpack this a little further. Because the first thing I want to clarify for anyone that may have misunderstood me is that your identity is never about your specific person. The decision you make about yourself should not be tied to action from your specific person, because that's still determining your identity based on outside circumstances. So what I mean by this is, I need to believe that so-and-so loves me. No. Well, I mean, yes, that's helpful, but that's not what I mean when I say make a decision about your identity, because that's more, again, like I said, determining your identity based on outside circumstances. And the reason that this can backfire is because if your identity is still reliant on manifesting your specific person, then consider how not manifesting your specific person or not seeing immediate results and so then assuming or fearing that you're not going to manifest your specific person, how do you think that's going to affect your identity? So do you see, I'm hoping that you can see how that kind of puts you really on shaky ground. That's not a solid intended decision. So if the decision that you make about yourself is something like so-and-so loves me, you open yourself up, like I said, to that doubt and fear. And if you don't see the evidence right away. So unless you already know how to mine your past experiences, but a lot of time what happens is that even if we had a lot of positive past experiences that you could mine from, the negative ones, if they were negative enough, or if you have some maybe shadow work that you need to do or unconscious reprogramming, then you may find that even when you go back to find evidence, then the stories are going to come up about, well, this is the reason they didn't love me at the end anyway, right? So now that automatically challenges the decision that you've made, which sort of negates it being a decision. Because if I decide I'm going to go to the grocery store, then I'm not really worried about it, but I'm not determining going to the grocery store on the actions of someone else. So if I decide I'm going to the grocery store, but I'm only going if my neighbor drives me, now I'm leaving it sort of up to chance. I have given away my power, basically. So the decision that you make about yourself is the reason you manifest your thing. So in the live, I described a situation that I didn't like, and then I described how I manifested something else by changing my energy about it and then making a decision about myself. And it was an I am a woman who statement. And so when I say change my energy around it, that situation, I was judging the heck out of the people. I was judging the heck out of the situation. I was resisting the bejeez out of it. And then I remembered, oh yeah, this isn't how we deal with it. But I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that I remembered. I actually had to work out some of the emotions that I had. And so it wasn't really until I kind of sat with them and allowed them to pass and noticed what was actually coming up for me that I was able to move into this space. But then once I did, I could release the judgment. So for me, that meant no longer making the people involved wrong. Because just because we don't agree with someone, it doesn't necessarily make their perspective wrong. It just makes it wrong for us. And so I had to recognize that it might not be what I want in my life, but it doesn't mean the other person is wrong. And so that in itself is a process of letting go, because you're releasing yourself from needing that other circumstance to make you feel better. And so once I was able to do that, I could let go of my judgment of the situation and just say, okay, I don't want that, but it's okay if somebody else does. And then I made my statement, I am a woman who, because I also know that making that decision about myself, now I've stepped into that identity. And whenever the stories, if I catch myself of the stories coming up, I just remind myself, no, this is who I am. And in no way is it related to the other person needing to take action, because it's about me. And so all action that people take from there, springs from that decision that I make about me, and not because it's the decision, like those words, that make it happen. It's because now that's how I'm showing up. Because that's, your body and your mind are intimately connected. There is that mind-body connection. And so that is, in essence, when you have these identities, you express them through your body. And so it's that decision that's the intention, and it's the intention that creates, because it manifests itself through your physical being. And so if I want to show you like a little diagram that I have, basically kind of demonstrating why if you are going to create your identity based on the actions of someone else, like I described, it has a lot of room for error, let's say. So, okay. Never fails. All right. So, well, that's a minute of your life you won't get back. Okay. All right. So this is current you. And this is where your SP is. Right? So here's your SP. Here's current. So you make a decision that you are this person. Right? My specific person loves me. Now, the problem with this is that as this person, right, this is you, you decide that you are this person. The problem is the way your mind works is it's going to look out into the world, notice that there is a difference. Wait a minute. Can you see how these two are different? This is like one of those picture games that you played when you were a kid about selecting what's different about each picture. Well, your mind will do this. And so unless you already have a basis for faith, and then you actually don't need this video. But for when you want to create something, you want to make a decision that makes this person already equate to this. So for example, I am a woman who, I am a man who is, so we could say, let's say unforgettable. Right? And the reason you are unforgettable, and that is the reason that you become this. But this person is already that. Even with this person over here. Because otherwise, these two don't align. You're not actually making the decision that you're this person because you've made this person in control of that. You have to decide. And so I am a woman who is unforgettable. I am a man who is unforgettable. These are the decisions that you must make about yourself, because it's being the unforgettable, or whatever that word is for you. It could be alluring. It could be that people change for, that people, whatever it is for you. It doesn't really matter what it is, except that it is this version of you already with no action required from this person first. And then this is the reason that this happens. Because now you're following the mind likes evidence, right? So when you manifest this, you have this as your evidence. And so you're going to look throughout whatever your word is. It's going to need to be something that really resonates for you. You're not just going to throw something in, and if it falls flat, you know it's not yours. And then you're going to be able to go through your past and find some examples. And it doesn't have to be relationship related. You could have friends, you could have coworkers, you could have a past employer, it could be a dog. It doesn't really matter. It's something that defines you as unforgettable, or whatever your word is. And that is the decision that you make about your identity. Because otherwise, when you look at this, like, which one are you currently? So which one has to be unforgettable? This one. So you cannot, you don't want to make your your belief about yourself dependent on the actions of another person for you to be that. You already are that. And so what other things to understand about your the decision you're making about yourself? It's a blanket statement about who you are as a person. I am unforgettable. I am incredible. I am, there are so many things, and I'm drawing a blank. So you don't want it to be, I am so-and-so something, like I am Jerry's wife, or I am the love of Jerry's life, because now you're making the decisions about yourself, circumventing it through someone else. And so, again, some people can do this, and a lot of times it's because they're unconsciously competent. They already have the internal belief systems. So I'm talking about like shifting some belief systems. And so you want to make a decision about yourself, but it needs to feel empowering. Feel into that. Feel as though it's true, because it is true. And it's only maybe limitations that you've bought into about yourself that make you feel it's not true. But if we're going with I am unforgettable, that there shows you that that's the reason that you manifest that other person back. And that begins to provide your mind with what it needs. The decision should be about who you are. Or like I am a man who, I am a woman who, or however it is that you identify. Because it's a decision about you. It's completely separate from the other person. Right? But the other person falls into that. So if I am unforgettable, well, that means I'm unforgettable to everybody, not just one person. And so now that creates more of an identity. When you really start to funnel it in so that it has to be about one person, then you really sort of pinch off the power of that identity. Because that person can fall under the blanket, but if that's the only person that you are lovable to, then that leaves your identity on shaky ground. So, okay, I hope that was clear. If this video was helpful, please share, like, and subscribe so that the algorithm can pick it up and show it to more people. And don't forget to hit the little bell so you get notifications whenever I put out a new video. And if you would like coaching, I offer coaching, and my website is the link to my website is in the description. I will be opening up some portals at the end of this week, so tomorrow, because it's Thursday. So have a fantastic Thursday, and don't forget to live as though it's impossible for you to fail.